And we'll go ahead and start with you again, and then we'll open it up to the room.
So the swings in momentum, falling behind in the three sets you lost, and then being able to keep things more in control in the second. What were the biggest difference between the three sets where you guys fell behind in that one?
Our confidence. I mean, you could literally feel it, you could see it, you could smell it. Several players were lacking confidence at the wrong time.
But Journey seemed to, like last week, it seemed like she's kind of working back into it. Maybe she's a little bit more.
Yeah, Journey, she's coming along. When you're out for as long as she was out and want to come back in there and make a difference right away, sometimes we don't focus on the right part of it, the process of it. We just want to get to the finish line quickly. And I think that's the team in general. We don't want to go through the fire, which is what I kept telling them. It's like, if we want to be good and we're going to be great, we have to go through all of this in order to be in that position. And of course, it's easier said than done because no one wants to be the reason why things don't happen or sit back and pause and, self-reflect at the wrong time. So, we look like a very young team. I think they were older than us, but big deal. I can come up with a lot of excuses, but at the end of the day, we didn't play the game very well today.
But we did see at a time when you're having problems scoring that Anna kind of raised that level. How important was she to being able to stay?
Well, I think Anna was confident the entire time as an attacker. I think Avery felt comfortable setting her as well. So that was really a bright spot, that she was willing to go up there and assert herself.
How would you assess the defensive performance tonight as compared to the two games in Seattle?
I don't know. I didn't look at the stats. I mean, blocking wise, I don't think we did a very good job, and that's part of defense. Their number 6 had a field day with us, hitting the same line. So, that's kind of frustrating, demoralizing, but you want the block to be in a position. I mean, and we're not ginormous at the net, so, that's part of it as well. But as blockers, it's about being in the right spot and forcing the attackers to hit over you, and then preferably the defenders are where they need to be. But there were several balls that deflected off the block, and it was almost like we didn't even see that it touched the block. And so that tells me that their eyes were not in the right place, and we were behind.
So, Coach, this was your first home loss of the season, yeah? So, what made this game more challenging compared to your previous home win?
The fact that they played better than we did. I mean, that was a challenge. We served the libero way too often, and not even on purpose, I would think. But somehow she seemed to have been the magnet and got the ball every time. But we didn't respond very well. That's where my frustration lies, is that we didn't step up and defend our court. We were just kind of hoping that they were going to make mistakes. For example, when that last play, before the last play, Jordan and Avery ran into each other. And that's one hoping and one saying, okay, I got to go and freaking out versus just being calm and playing a game. And I literally told them, I was like, it's just a game of volleyball. I actually tried to quote Notting Hill, which is an awesome movie, but they missed it completely. But, yeah, thank you.
Anything else from the room?
Is there a message to the team as you guys head on the road for your next 3 games?
Compete, play hard, be confident in yourself, do the things that are necessary to be a champion. Whether you win or lose, you still have to be a confident individual. And so I shared with them my time at NC State and why I sucked when I was there, and I'm okay saying that. And it's because I evaluated people that I should not have evaluated, and I put them in a place that they didn't belong. And so for young people, it is important for you all to understand that, you're going to be put in situations, and, the easiest thing to do is kind of say, well, they're not doing this, or poor me, and, feel sorry for ourselves. And as an adult, you got to get over that. It's like, okay, you're not doing your job. That's okay. I'm going to be better. And those are learning lessons that they need to hear, and they need to be put in that situation more often than not. This won't be the last time that we're going to be faced with this, but I believe that our outcome will be different because we went through this.
How did they get that confidence back, knowing that these next 3 are tough too? And well, the next 4, even Utah's coming, even when you come back here, Utah's here.
Well, part of it is why I recruited the players that I recruited that were winning players, Gatorade Player of the Year, national champions, won state championships, things of that nature, so that they have something to rely back on, and hopefully what they went through and why they received the accolades that they received is something they can refer to. And then, in the gym, we got to be out there and we got to push them and show them. And at the end of the day, the opponents that we play against, they have a right to be good too. Just because I do the right thing doesn't mean I'm going to win. But they think that it works that way. It's like, just because I come to work every single day, I'm going to get wins. It doesn't work that way. As much as we want it to be that way. But so you have to change their mindset and help them to understand that they're going to be people that's going to be faster, stronger. Ladies, there'll be some prettier. I firmly believe I'm not the best, but that's just the confidence that they need to understand. But they only get to understand it when they go through it. And so what I shared with them in the locker room was that I don't understand, because you'll hear players say the coach took their confidence away, or they're not confident because they're not as fast, or whatever the issue is. And I'm like, well, they didn't give you the confidence. It's all internal. And so the only way that I've learned that you can handle that and deal with it is by confronting it, putting it out there. And so it's like, okay. And I gave the example of what I used to tell my kids all the time. I won't do it because they'll kill me if I say it out loud. But I told the team, but we talk about the obvious. There are no secrets in our house, so that when someone brings it to your attention or they expose you, it's like, oh, I got that. I know it. And not feel bad about it. Just own it and move on.
In the back.
What's the game planning process like going against the number one team in the country, Nebraska, and just what sort of energy do you want your girls to bring into a game like that?
Well, I don't know that I'll have to hype them up for that because they know exactly what it's like. It'll be a different environment because their gym for volleyball is like our gym for men's basketball. And so everyone's going to be hyped up and talking and whatnot. And so the ball may come a little bit faster at times, but at the end of the day, they're just females, just like we are, playing the game of volleyball. And we got to go back and serve tough and just compete and not make excuses, and that's very hard for individuals when they're learning. It's like I got to create something grand about as to why I can't do what I can't do. And it's okay. And I keep telling them, it's okay. We're going to be fine. Got to still fight, got to work hard, got to train and do all those things, but we're going to be fine. So going to Nebraska, we have nothing to lose. They have everything to lose. Could you imagine what they would feel like when we go in there and beat them? Awesome. So it's, we're fine. We just got to go train and don't worry about who's on the other side of the net. Right now, we need to worry about what Arizona's doing.
Yep, in the back.
It was mentioned on the road that you guys have to build your own team confidence because you're not in the KO and having the home crowd. Are you going to carry that into Utah with it being a big scene?
I don't know. I don't personally, I don't believe it does anything other than helps you when you're up, because you just keep riding it, if that makes sense. I appreciate our crowd, I appreciate our fans, but whether they sat there and was quiet versus they're there cheering, how you feel about yourself is how you're going to receive what they give you. Because I thought our crowd was fine. I thought the crowd was good. The band was playing. They were doing all those things, but we didn't seem to capitalize on that. You know what I mean? So it's something that's internal. But yeah, sure, it helped start out with that. I like to think if the first set wasn't so bad, then they would have enjoyed the crowd and the band and all those things more, which would have been the time to ask that question.
Anything else?
I could do this all night. I'm so thinking of myself.
Do you feel like there's, just besides the books and stuff, there's another way to perhaps install more confidence in practices and more games for your team?
Well, in practice, we're always competing and going and saying these are things that need to take place. But the only way I've learned people build up their confidence is by going through the fire, and just the coach and the staff and the situation allows them to stay out there and kind of fight through and say, I'm not going to bail you out, and when you have solutions in terms of more bodies and more opportunities, then that tends to go in your favor. But if I have a setter and she's setting and she's not very good, and my only other option is a person who can't set it all, that's not gonna help your confidence, right? So you have to allow that person to fight through it and get better with it, and the hope that it builds up their confidence. And, you know, you need a couple breaks every now and again too. But at the end of the day, they realize that too. They'll go, well, that was easy. It's like, okay, just take it and run with it, you know, so it's definitely internal.
Any more questions? All good? All right.
Thank
Fine
you.
then. Now I gotta go sit and talk to myself.